Lots of people think that you shouldn't be allowed to collect racist advertising like this, or signs like this, or even items from World War II Germany like this. Whenever I review items like this, I invariably get comments about how they should be destroyed or burned, or they should only be allowed in museums. And that entire attitude is entirely counterproductive. Because by making something taboo, whether it be an image or a topic, what you're actually saying is that that item is dangerous. And the unsaid implication of saying it's dangerous is saying that it's powerful. So, by making something taboo, what you're actually doing is imbuing it with the power that you're trying to take away from it. And it has always been human nature to seek out the forbidden, whether it be you listening to bands that your parents told you not to, or Belle deciding she absolutely had to find out what was in the West Wing. And that power in taboo is exactly why Dumbledore and Harry Potter never used the term "he who must not be named" or Lord Voldemort, because it imbues Tom Riddle with a sense of mystique and makes him out to be more than he actually is. And the second reason I oppose taking these items away from collectors is because it's dishonest to history. By removing these items from historical collections, it gives people a false understanding of history and doesn't allow them to truly get into the experience of our ancestors. But the reality of our past in America is that this kind of imagery was everywhere. It was in advertising, it was in media, it was on street corners, it came in the speech from the people around them. And when you don't include it in historical collections, you end up with a bunch of people believing that this was the exception rather than the rule that was lived by our ancestors every day. And when we censor the imagery and the reality of racism and bigotry in our past, we end up believing that Norman Rockwell paintings are actually the way that people existed. And the bottom line is that you get the history wrong when you start cutting off or hiding the warts of society. And there are invariably concerns about these items getting into the hands of people that are going to use them to spread hate, but the truth is that it's logistically impossible to destroy all of these items because they existed in such incredible quantities all over the country. And the only true way to take away the power of the hateful messages that are in these items is to disinfect it with sunlight. And the only way to combat the transgressions of the past is through brutal honesty and transparency, and a big part of that transparency is wide dissemination. So when these items are no longer available, what you're doing is ensuring that less eyes get on them and less people know about the truth of our history. And the bottom line is, sweeping things under the rug has never worked.